welcome back to another Baradar Streams. Today, we're talking Battletech, turn-based tactical strategy game. We're going to jump right in, and we're going to talk some tips, and some builds here. I've already finished the entire campaign. I might have a few flashpoints left on the DLC, but I've already finished the main storyline in the DLCs. This is after about 300 hours into the game already. But we are going to talk some tips, even if you're just starting out with the game. We'll be able to help you out with some of your mech builds and some things that you want to pay attention to early on in the game and as the game progresses until you get to a point where you can just steamroll through things. Okay, and here we are at our main screen. Now early on you're going to have a different ship, be a little smaller. Eventually you will get a hold of the Argo and its upgrading capacity. So let's see, where is my ship upgrades? So early on your ship is going to be important. The problems you're going to run into are your personnel getting injured and your mechs needing repairs. So you're going to want to concentrate more on your mech bays and your med bays while slowly working up your power system, structure drive, and habitat pods as you go. Habitat pods can wait. They do unlock other areas of the ship that will be helpful, but it's best early on to work on these structure and power systems and the drive system, because otherwise you're going to have issues with mini cutscenes popping up. When you travel, you get a random chance for an event to occur, and some of those events are going to be based on the condition of the ship. So you want to avert that as much as possible by building this up. But eventually, you'll get the entire thing popped up. I just wanted to touch on that real quick. As far as your mech warriors go, I ran this entire game with 5 mech warriors. Right up till the last mission when they told me I needed 2 lances to drop, which I needed a total of 8 mech warriors. Well, 7 really, because I believe I had my character. So, you know, what I got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 at Growl, 7, 8. Yeah, so 8 guys I needed total. So I had to go back and I had to train up another 4 guys to max them out. As you can see, everybody's maxed out though. Characters are pretty standard. You're going to want to spread out some of your skills. You're going to want to have some people like it depends on your mech setups really. All right, if you're going to play a fast mechs or you're going to play heavy mechs, I've based mine on heavy mechs. Early on you start with lighter, faster mechs, and speed is going to be your ally. Later on in the game, you're going to get the Assault Mechs, which are slow as crap, but they deal massive damage. So you're going to want to spread out your skills on your main lance so that everybody's got something.
Yes, Commander.
What I should have thought about early on in the game is this here, under tactics. If you take, because you could pick two first tier ones off of these 4. Each one of these has their own special ability, okay? And the second tier, you only get 1 choice. This particular skill gives you +1 initiative, which is amazing when you're running with an assault mech, because your assault mechs are going to have initiative of 1, which means you're going last every time, especially against faster mechs. However, you can usually wreck faster mechs. So there's a trade-off there, but that is valuable. I do have it on my scout, which is this character here. Otherwise, your other characters, like I probably would have rethought this one. The ace pilot, being able to move after you shoot, isn't as fun as I thought it would be. I probably would have taken the guts secondary one, but that's neither here nor there. The important thing is, the unsteady threshold that you get out of it. And then, of course, the guts, being able to get that overheat threshold and stuff covered.
Orders.
Glitch is pretty much my missile character, so I wanted to be able to have somebody that could fire multiple shots, which is what the multi-target does. So if you're firing, you can fire at multiple targets within your area, and especially with a missile boat, that comes in very handy. So something to think about. My main character, I did take the gunnery, but again, I wasn't sure 100% what all these did. The breaching shot is good, but that would have been better on a different mech than what I use, although it is pretty effective. But I probably would have went tactics with this character over gunnery based on how I play. But these are things you want to look into before you start picking your skills. Look at these main ones, figure out what your main lance is going to do, what your 4 guys are going to be like, how they're going to play, if they're all going to be, if you're going to have a scout, a missile boat, a gun boat, a quick strike unit, however you're going to set them up. Pick your skills in advance and work towards them. You need to make sure that you get the health increase off of guts, which will give you more hits that you can take injuries. The indirect fire penalty is hugely important if you're using ballistic weapons, and your cold shot mastery is, well, that's a key skill for this
Standing by
here. But we'll go over that when I show you her mech, which is really devastating. But that's pretty much it for troops. Like I said, you will need 2 lances to finish the game. So you'll need 8 pilots, 8 mechs. Nothing else really in the game that you need more than 1 set of mech warriors for. Now it depends on your gameplay, if you get ejected a lot, or how things work. As you can see, I've never ejected in 188 deployments. So, and I've been running every single mission. As a matter of fact, I don't think any of my team has ever ejected from a mission. Ejection 0.
Standing by.
Ejection 0.
Waiting on you, Commander.
Ejection 0.
Receiving you.
0.
Good to go.
0.
Orders.
And 0. So, it can be done. As far as your funding goes, let me go to my finances table here. Early on in the game, your morale is important. Morale allows you to use your special moves and your cold strikes and whatnot. A little later on in the game, that's going to become more important. Plus, you don't want your soldiers' morale to drop too low, or they get minuses on their abilities. Money is going to be an issue early on in the game, so you're going to want to keep yourself at usually a +0 per month is what I do. However, since I'm running around with 40 million, I can afford to pay these guys more. I do, but the max resolute is 50 anyway. That's as far as you go, and each turn you get 35 resolve, which you can use for your special abilities. So early on, be careful of your cash. You should be able to maintain a +0 if you do at least 1 or 2 missions a month during the early parts of the game. However, the bulk of your money is going to come from the campaign storyline. Those special missions are going to give you special mechs, special items, and a crap ton of money, more than you're going to get in between. When you're in between missions, you need to make sure that you're not traveling too far from system to system. The further you travel, longer it takes you to get there, and you're not generating any income during transit. Plus, you risk those special events popping up and having adverse effects on your crew, including injuries, knocking them out, dropping their morale, things of that nature. So I would suggest having at least 5 pilots or more, so that you have somebody you can rotate out in case of an injury that you can't wait on, and keep it tight and simple early on in the game. Once the game opens up, the star map gets a little big, and you're able to pretty much go anywhere on the map that you want to fly around to, depending on how you're playing the game, basically. All right, the next segment here, we're going to be going over mechs. Okay, and we are back now on the mech base screen. So again, early game, your finances are tied to how many mechs you have ready in your bay. All right, so you don't want to keep more than, I would say, 5, 6 mechs maximum ready in your bay. You're probably only going to have one bay anyway, so you might be able to just fill out the one bay. I believe I ran with 5 most of the game. It's almost better to just wait a day or two for repairs on most mechs, unless they get really messed up, which they will in a few battles here and there. Than to have too many mechs ready when you don't need them, because you're paying financially for each one of those mechs that you have ready. Eventually it becomes a point. As you can see, I have 3 bays. I could load these all up at any point in time, but there's no point. I don't even use all these mechs, actually. And this is my my main lance at the top. And then I have my secondary lance, which was the second team that I dropped in. And then I have a few pet projects. These are ones that have been swapped out for new mechs that I've recently gained, as it was. In my storage, I keep my little collection of everything that I've put together. So early on, you're going to have some of these smaller mechs, like locusts, urban mechs, cicadas, stuff like that, indicators. You start off with a blackjack, which is pretty potent. A lot of beam weapons and whatnot on it. Early game, it's all about speed. Your mechs are going to be lighter and faster, and you're going to have more opportunities to get behind other mechs, and maybe focus more on the legs of the mechs to put them out of commission quicker. No point going for headshots in this game. You get lucky, you get one, you know, wonderful. Otherwise, your percent chances of hitting that are very low, and there are better ways to destroy a mech anyway. Legs are usually a little easier to take out certain mechs. Stability damage, knocking them over, giving you a free targeted shot is another good way to do things. But basically on the early play, it's all about how many SRMs you can pack onto a mech. You're going to be looking for SRM 4s, SRM 6s. You're going to want to try to load those on as much as you can on your missiles. All right. Your long-range missiles are good, but they're heavy, and you can only pack so much onto a light mech. So you want to go more with these here, your SRMs. The 4s are decent if you can get a few good ones. The SRM 6s are key. They have reasonable amount of heat, still not as much as the beam weapon, which is usually around 25 heat. We'll talk about heat later. But the tonnage is pretty light. 3 tonnage is not horrible on most mechs. You should be able to deck out a light mech with a lot of that. And then you come to the beam weapons versus ballistics discussion. I couldn't stand ballistics early on because you guys can't shoot straight. It's just the bottom line. They're going to miss a ton, and although the damage looks great, it is a little better at close range. Plus they do decent at long range if your guy can shoot straight, basically. You have a better opportunity with beam weapons. They're more accurate. They do guaranteed damage, but they're hit or miss, and they generate a lot of heat, which is the other issue for early mech play. So you're going to want to watch out for that type of thing. Later on in the game, when you build up these mechs a little bit, you're going to have some toys to play with. So when I had got up to the Assault Mechs, I was mostly running with this Highlander here. Let's click the refit so we can take a look at it here. This is my main mech for most of the game. It did come with a Gauss rifle. It was a unique weapon, and it's the only one I've ever seen in the game. But I retrofitted that onto my current mech, which is the Atlas II, which I got at the end of the actual story campaign mission. So I just replaced it with an AC-20 on this for now. But normally the Gauss rifle would have been sitting here. And this is just about a maxed out mech. I mean, the armor, as you can see, is fully jacked on it in all places. SRMs, LRMs, as much as you can get on there. We'll go over ballistics when we get to it. But we're talking Assault Mechs here now. Alright, Assault Mechs are the big dogs. Once you get to Assault class, you're going to be able to handle anything on the map, depending on what you have in your stables to play with. Alright, at the end of the game, you get the Atlas II, which is a unique mech, and like I said, I moved the Gauss rifle over to this. This is a special new mech that I just got a hold of, Blue Shark. I don't think I've seen this anywhere in the game. This is from a Flashpoint mission. Normally I had Battle Master I was running. This is my scout vehicle. However, he's a little stronger now, so I don't do as much scouting. But this came stock like this, which is pretty disgusting. This mech is a pretty good setup overall. Alright, so this is the Bull Shark here. This is how it came. The only thing I put on here was the rangefinder. If you have one person as a scout, which my guy has that ability where he has the increased range, and he can spot targets like lock on, so that your other people can shoot at them at max range. Plus with the rangefinder on here, it gives you 120 meters view distance increase with the +3 on there. You do have to sacrifice a cabin, which gives you up to +3 hit protection. But it's better to have at least one person who can see the other mechs before they get into range with you. This thumper cannon is disgusting. It just blows things up in a radius. It's pretty lethal. I was kind of impressed with this overall, the way it's set up. The LB10Xs they do pretty good damage. I mean, 11 damage with 8 fires. I mean, and it shreds armor like there's no tomorrow. Plus heavy stability damage, and with a pair of UACs on here with max range of 540 on it, this is kind of it's like a sniper boat almost. I mean, the average range is way up there. As you can see, your optimal range is 300 meters, but I can shoot up to 540 with this dog. And especially with the extended range mediums on here. It's disgusting that this came like this. You gotta watch your legs there because you got ammo in there to blow both your legs off, but again, I haven't really had anything anywhere near this thing. Your center torso is the key to life for your mech. That gets cut in half, your mech's done. Same thing with your legs. You lose both legs, your mech's done. So I like to up my armor a little bit on the legs and my torso where I can. Again, I haven't even messed with the armor on this. This is pretty standard. I might have jacked the arms up a little bit to protect the weapons on there. But for the most part, this is a stock build that this came with. So if you're lucky to get something like this, you're looking good. But I like to have my scout with a rangefinder and 2 UACs. Once you get UACs, you can love them. I mean, 45 damage times 2. Disgustingly powerful. And I will show you how to use them shortly. Alright, but that's my scout. That's how you're going to want to set your scout up for range. The further away, the better, because he's not going to have that much protection. I usually take a lighter mech with him, plus he gets a +1 initiative. So he's almost always going to go first in battles with heavier mechs. The next one we're going to take a look at is our King Crab here. This is my missile boat, basically. I want one mech that can hit anything from anywhere. She's pretty powerful in short-range combat as well. But this is basically a missile boat. She's just there to target. You spot the target, and she just eliminates things. So 4 medium lasers for short-range combat, and then 2 LRM-15s and an LRM-20. It's a missile boat. That's plain and simple. I also gave it a TTS here, which gives you a +3 accuracy for missile fire. If you get yourself an exchangers are good because they drop your weapon heat by 15%. And a heat bank, when you can get a hold of it, will increase your maximum heat and your overheating threshold. So as you can see, my heat efficiency is off the chart with this mech right here. I sink 30 heat on a full alpha strike. I'm dropping 79. So I'm really almost half of that is getting, refunded to me on an alpha strike, which is pretty good. And firepower at maximum, we're dealing 370 damage, which is pretty powerful. But again, this is chip away. These LRMs, as you can see, I jacked them up for stability damage. The goal of this mech is to knock something over or put it in a position to be knocked over by the next shot on it. The jump jets are on there just to get it above. I like to have it on high ground as much as possible. Jump jets do take up 2 tons apiece, so that's 4 tons I lose, but as you can see, my armor is maxed anyway on this mech. Nothing is touching this with a center torso 155 with 300 armor. Nothing except my other mech, which we'll get to. So my new main mech we're gonna take a look at next. I know the load times are terrible on this, but it's only because I haven't run the game yet today, otherwise it maintains it after a while. So this is the Atlas 2. This is the new mech that I just got a hold of at the end of the campaign. I moved, like I said, the Gauss rifle over because I really like the Gauss rifle. It does good damage and it's got great range, but you got to protect it because it's unique, and that's the only thing you worry about later on in the game is protecting good pieces of equipment. If you can, all of your other mechs should get this cockpit mod with the +3 injury resistance. So I believe my guy has 6 maxed out, +3 is 9. So you could take 9 shots before you'd be incapacitated, and that would take forever. So my guy's pretty good. Plus, those +3 allow you to shake off the first 3 hits. So if somebody gets a lucky headshot, you can resist it. If you get knocked over, you can resist it up to 3 times before it damages your guy and he has to have a hospital stay. And that's pretty key early on in the game. I kept the armor pretty tight on everything. It's about as high as it can go. I don't worry too much about the legs on this guy. But as you can see, he's got the Gauss rifle and stability damage on his SRM. So he's got short range, long range, and he's got 2 extended range lasers, plus a crap ton of heat sinks. Heat efficiency again off the chart. I'm sinking 100 and alpha striking at 125. So I'm actually only gaining 25 heat whenever I fire an alpha. So I could fire multiple alphas in a row, unless I'm on a desert world, which is pretty good. And my alpha strike's doing almost 400 damage on this guy. But as you can see, durability is full. Everything is full except for my movement, which, these are heavy mechs anyway. But again, I do put the jump jets on there so I can get to a higher ground and have some maneuverability with my main mech, as it were. And all of this is important until you meet the UAC-20, which is the ultimate ballistic death weapon that I think I've come across. You need a mech that can handle it. as you can see, this one here is, this is disgusting, this mech. I'm going to show you. This mech is held against 4 100-ton mechs by itself and took out 3 of the 4. I actually just did that on a flashpoint the other day. They dropped the lance in next to it, and to my surprise, this thing obliterated everything. So as you can see, armor still almost maxed out. Legs are a little light, but still good. And I managed to stick 2 UAC 20s on this. One UAC 20 is capable of 240 damage if it hits, plus 80 stability damage. With 2 of these on here, firepower is almost at 600. That 310, 410, 5, that is almost enough to cut through a center torso. And with a called shot and both these UACs firing, and that's per shot, you get 2 shots per. This thing basically tears a mech in half at full. Any mech on the board, any size mech, at full strength, this mech cuts it in half. I also put a BSC system on here that increases my ballistic damage. I also increased the accuracy of my ballistic fire. I still have lasers on here for distance because I got tired of things being out of range. And I threw the tag on here for no particular reason whatsoever, other than if it misses, it tags it, and you get a little bonus to hit next time. Plus, everything else on this dog is just heat bank, heat sink, and exchangers to drop the weapon heat down. I got a 25% drop off of my heat off of these 2, plus all my heat sinks. So, heat efficiency, Alpha Strike is only 113, and I'm sinking almost half of that. So you can pretty much fire these UACs, both of them, twice, and then you'll have to shut one off and get a third one off. So if you can't kill anything in 3 rounds with this thing, I mean, everything should be pretty much dead on the board at that point, which is the goal. Durability is pretty much maxed out. As you saw, firepower is maxed out, heat efficiency maxed out. Range is not great, but that's not really the point of this mech. This mech is just death. Alright, you do lose some tonnage off of, having these on there, but it's a death machine, what can I say? Alright, so we're going to take it out, and I'm going to show you what this Mecha Godzilla can do, and some tips and stuff for your actual battle combat when you get into Assault Mech range.
Command interface initiated.
Okay, and we have dropped to the city for this mission.
Okay,
City at
here
night.
we go.
Interesting. Not sure I've done a night city mission here. Cities are tricky. These urban landscapes are a little tricky. I believe this comes with the urban expansion DLC. I like to lead with my scout. We have a target which is over this way, and this is pretty much a destroy mission. It depends on your mission. If you're going to be doing an escort mission, which I really hate escort missions, especially with heavy mechs. But if you're doing something like that, you're going to be wanting to move faster. Your first move, you can pretty much move max, but you got to be careful because if there's defenders nearby, they're going to be able to get a good close range shot on you. So we're just going to move ourselves up.
Roger that.
See if we get anything in range right off the bat with our rangefinder. Since he's got, I mean, you can see the ring out there on how far we have that we can see. We can see pretty far down there, so doesn't look like there's anybody anywhere nearby. So I'm going to start moving everybody up full here. Your heavier mechs, especially the Mecha here, Godzilla, need to move faster. I don't worry about too much about anything getting behind me. I yet to see anything get behind me unless I make a bad tactical decision. The only thing we're worried about here are vehicles.
Orders?
Because they're ridiculously powerful and they have more missiles on them than I could ever put on a mech, which is pretty disgusting when you think about it. Alright, I'm expecting to get something on the radar here, so we're going to stay tight to this building. Let's see what we get.
Reporting. Enemy contact.
Alright, as expected, vehicles. Good. Fortunately, they're not going to be able to
Affirmative.
target me this early. But they will. At least can get in position close to these buildings. Counting on my better range. Alright, we got an 80-ton mech moving in as well. However, depending on what that vehicle has, that might be more important.
Yes, Commander.
We're going to move up a little bit, but not enough. Especially with the bull shark. Walks weird too. But we're going to use the sensor lock ability so we can see what the vehicle is all about.
Sensors locked on.
Alright, it's a Demolisher. It's got an LBX on it, so that can shred armor pretty good. An 85-ton mech moving in as well. Demolisher's got two LBX-10s on there, which is pretty much the same thing that my guy has on it.
Waiting on you, Commander.
Now, since they can't see me to fire back, and I already have a missile lock, I'm going to unload. Hope this Demolisher goes down.
Roger that. Firing on target.
See how tough those things are? Ridiculously tough. My Atlas got a little more stability damage. That's where I hit it.
Engaging target.
Still couldn't take it out.
Orders.
Orders are...
Roger.
Alright, wait one turn, see what they do. No one here. There's usually 4 in a lance as well, so I'm expecting one more something to pop up.
What's up, boss?
Be cautious about walking around the corner too soon here. Now, I'm wondering, thinking about hitting him on Thumper Cannon. Oh, there's that other mech. There's a Banshee. Battlemaster's tough. God, Zeus. This little Thumper Cannon's probably not going to do much. I'm going to hit this hard, try to finish it off.
Firing a full salvo. One more for the trash heap.
Alright, we're gonna take some flak damage here, but we're hoping they're gonna be overconfident and try this.
I've got eyes on hostile reinforcements.
Oh,
They're heading your way.
Reinforcements before I even get to the main reinforcements. Look at them, they're hitting me from across the map. The other group is spotting. Right, this is now an issue. Over here somewhere. Yeah, bring that battle master to me. Bring it down here so I can blow it. Oh, is that a boss? No, that was a PC. Not good.
Reporting heavy damage.
Yeah. It ain't great.
Good to go.
I don't think I can get range. I cannot. We're at a bad spot. We're at a real bad spot here.
I hear ya.
Actually, right.
Waiting for orders.
Attack. This is bad now. You see on the Banshee, they're about to start damaging this guy. You can see the high stability damage. I shook it, which is what its job is. Might be a little risky if I pop my nose out here. Let's see. He's in range of an alpha strike. Might be worth it. I got a big mech. And I gotta do something here fast too, because if that other lance is hitting me from that distance, I'm gonna be in trouble real quick. Let's see if I can knock this guy in his butt. He's a little damaged on his right shoulder right now. Got SRM ammo, I'm gonna be able to explode it now. It's not getting fancy yet.
All weapons committed.
Cross rifle. High stability damage. That's what I was looking for. Alright, one injury on the pilot, which is nice.
Yes, Commander.
Be able to get in a little cheapy shot on him. God, I really don't want to cluster up here, but don't have much of a choice. Gotta take a chance here. Get this deck up front. The armor's pretty stripped on. Go for the shoulder piece up here, see if I can knock that ammo. Ooh, she's in range of the UACs already? Different story. Change tactic. Called shot, center torso. We're just gonna rip this thing in half, basically. Bye.
Copy that.
Bye. Destroyed. UAC. Death.
One less target.
Now I gotta survive some incoming ones. Bullets, which I didn't want, but I don't have a
Reporting
choice.
heavy damage.
Sorry, I'm gonna charge these two guys here. I'll survive this. Normally I don't like to go so direct, but I don't have much of a choice with that other lance incoming.
Orders?
I need to get him out of the direct line of fire here if I can.
Position confirmed.
Plus, remember, moving reduces the stability damage on your mech. Heater ready. Pop off. Extend range. As you can see, lasers heat is about, I think it's about 25 mediums. Down and gain some back now and get some damage in on him. So we'll hit him with everything we got here other than that.
Roger.
Flat cannon strips some arm off. Pretty good. Oh, and I got a cheapy little headshot. I like that. Now if I could just make it to the rest of my mechs going. Hopefully I'm out of range of the other guys. The other Lancing. I have to take this Lance out in front of me so they can't spot figure the move. That would be key move here. As soon as Behemoth goes again, I'm going to cut another one of these guys in half. I'm going to cut this Zeus down. Or the Banshee if it's in range. Somebody's down. Corner. Oh, that's what I find.
Yes, Commander.
Alright. Behemoth, I need you to just kill. Looks like it's going to be the Zeus. It's the only thing I can get in range.
Roger that.
It's a little risky. I wouldn't normally charge 2 85-ton mechs here. But with this puppy dog. The other key to this mech is to knowing when to shut things off. So just by turning off these 2 lasers, I can drop it down. I can drop 1 UAC off. Even without these, and I can continuously fire, and I still might cut that mech in half, but I want to make sure that I cut this thing in half. So I'm going to drop off my lasers, and I'm just going UAC right to the CT. Bye. That's what UACs do.
Hostile removed.
Especially with 2 of them on there, and a precision shot. As long as you're regenerating enough points per turn on your resolve, which I gain, almost as much as I'm losing every turn, makes a big difference.
What can I do for you?
Again, I'm going to keep moving in the hopes that I get out of range of the Lance. And try to take this last guy out, although I don't think I can finish him off. He strips him off.
Special delivery!
Not much. He had high evasion, so a little tricky. I'm still going to get shot from the other group again. But since I got a lot of armor, shots are going to get attention.
Engaging target.
And steadied him. Nice. Now the collateral part of the damage. I gotta see if he goes after my shark, if he goes after my annihilator, atlas. See, head hit injured
Warning.
board because I
Armor
have that
breach.
cockpit on
Internal
there.
damage.
The item.
Yes, Commander.
Alright, I seem to be out of range of the other group, so I'm gonna move up and try to finish this guy
On
off
my
real
way.
quick. Bull Shark should be able to strip off anything he's got left on him, as far as armor goes. Pop more here. Actually, I'll pop them both off for me, so that'll cut me down enough. This way I can just strip off.
Acknowledged.
Apparently knocking buildings down. Alright, most of his armor's gone already. Stop blowing holes in my mech.
I'm showing minor damage.
Yeah, well, Janet. gotta die. He's spotting way
Damage
too much for
minimal.
him. What's the turn? This is what I'm talking about with initiative. These guys all have a little bit lighter mechs and they're going before me. I'm going to try not to use her if I can this turn.
I hear ya.
Most of my guys are probably going to go right in a row, so I'm actually gonna glitch
Waiting
back
on you,
online.
Commander.
This guy's pretty good.
Tell me what to do.
Takes his weapon out, takes his AC5 out.
Yeah, critical hit.
Unsteady, no evasive, and I should be able to finish him off with my guy. Get a point shot in on him. I think there'll be enough damage. Either way, he's going on his
All
own.
weapons committed.
Oh! Ass! Just blew both of
Enemy
his
mech.
arms
Critical
right
damage
off.
detected.
Knocked down. Injuries. Oh, man, he's having a bad day. Looks like he's still standing there. He has
Ready
left
for
to him,
orders.
though. Can't get in melee range, but I should be able to finish him off.
Got it.
He's gonna take it real easy. Take it down. Pop off the UAC. Should be enough with one UAC.
Target acquired. That's
Bother
kill.
getting up. Alright, so we made quick work of that lance. Really, the only thing that hurt us was the other lance that was taking pot shots at us, which they can no longer do.
Commander,
Now we go back to scouting mode. I'm going to sprint it because I want to get him up here fast so I can get eyes on these guys.
Roger.
Armor is hurt pretty bad. Careful. Alright, everybody. Sight now. Ton here. We got a lot coming in here. 95 ton. Big ass mechs. And we got another one hiding back over here, a missile boat.
They've got a lock on me.
Shit. Not good. 90 ton. Not gonna be easy due to the amount of damage. Get in out of there fast. Don't like full frontal assaults, but I don't have much area to maneuver around in here.
Engaging target.
Receiving you.
Range of the UACs. Just the longs. Here's where we gotta be cautious. Next round I need her to lynch something. But I need to get her in range. And I need her to survive. Should be right here.
Roger.
It's a bull shark. Taking too much damage. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna use vigilance, which is going to increase my initiative next turn. I'll be able to move a little quicker.
What can I do for ya?
Glitch, you're gonna do the same thing they do to us. You're gonna missile boat these guys from a distance. That's what you do best.
Time to die!
Got a heat sink. Good.
When I
All
shoot
good.
you, you'll take it and like it.
Tell him, Glitch. Alright. This is the trouble of the water part here. Sort of
Losing armor.
I do want to advance
Ready
right
for
now,
orders.
but I need to get him out of here. Can't afford it. Let's wheel him back this way.
Aye, aye.
Flank him up. At least he's got some evasion now. They're ruining this awesome right in my face, aren't they?
Warning. Armor low.
That's pissing me off.
Standing by.
Alright, Behemoth, I need you to kill one of these mechs. Dead. Careful. Both in range. I got a better chance than the one on the left. Let me see what they got.
Good to go.
2 LRMs, that's nasty enough. This guy's all PPCs, which are very nasty. I still have my other 2 mechs to go. I'm going to count on them to finish that mech on the left off. I'm going to go for the one in the back right. That's risky. It's all risky.
On the move.
Almost at full strength. If they do it right, there'll be one less mech to worry about anyway. This guy's at full strength. Turn on my 2 long lasers, my UACs, and try to cut this guy's got to go down.
Copy that.
Death machine. That was huge.
Target eliminated.
Unfortunately, I still got to leave it 2. He didn't fire it. That's a good thing. Missile death. That's good. Not that bad.
Light damage, Commander.
Alright.
Waiting for orders.
First thing I want to do is get some more damage on this guy here. Left arm gone, that's nice.
And there's more where that came from.
Yeah, glitch. Got a lot of shit from the back. Love it. Ultimately, I'd like to cut this guy down, but I don't know how to damage. He's still falling his CT. It's almost 175 in there. If I hit with everything, I might be able to finish him. If I crit that LRM, all he's got is a laser. Oh no, he's gonna come along the shoulder. She's already gone this turn. Well, I'm gonna try it.
All weapons committed. Enemy mech
One
destroyed.
shot at the floor. That would be the turning point of this mission. Hey, you better back up, pal. You better back up. Right up the corpse of your buddy there. Oh, what's the matter? You getting a little nervous there?
Good to go.
I thought you were beating up on the bull shark. What happened, bruh? You're not beating up on the bull no more. This way,
Affirmative.
Too. suck for you, buddy. So I got no heat issues right now. Oh, he's out of range of my extended.
Target acquired.
Scraping some armor off. Get up here. I think you can do enough damage.
Good to go. Orders.
45% chance. I mean, I might have a little higher. You know what? Before we do that,
I hear ya.
hit him with our missile boat. That should strip away any evasion he's got on him. No evasion. All gone.
Commander.
55. I'll take it.
Aye, aye.
Should be enough. Now the overheating is going to be an issue. I might only get one UAC, but it'll be enough. Lasers, what am I thinking of the bar? Power down one. UAC. Should still be enough if I hit both shots.
Affirmative.
Oh! Not enough, was it?
Think I hit something good.
Marked them, but you didn't get it through. Let me see where you at. Oh, 37 points left. That's alright. Can finish that off. I think I still got enough left for another precision strike, even though I might not need it.
All weapons
Got him.
committed.
Boom. He's having a bad day. I'm just piling them up in one spot, making it easy for the
Enemy
city.
mech destroyed.
Get up the blue. See, I was nice. I didn't knock over too many buildings. Stepped on a few vehicles. Piled all my debris up nicely.
Standing by.
Alright, now we need to get you. Gotta go back this way regardless. Just hold me. Get a sensor on. No, it's just that sensor range.
Waiting for orders.
Destroyed buildings reduce movement and spotting distance will provide cover 20%. I'll take 20% cover. Can't get a straight
Commander.
shot on this turkey, but they can't hit me either, so it's not bad.
Moving out.
Well, that's alright, that gives me a turn to heat down.
Waiting for orders. Uh-huh.
See what this guy does. Hugging the wall. That's what he's doing. Hugging
Waiting
the
for orders.
wall in terror of
Acknowledged.
the Mecha Godzilla, which is about to come around the corner and just end this world. He's in range, so we got a little sensor lock here. What is it? Oh, a Cyclops. How nice. AC-20, very nice. SRM, LRM. Could do a little damage.
Good to go.
Why don't you knock on the door, see if he's home there.
Here we go.
Good knock on the door. No, we know he's there. Jump on this building.
Engaging jump jets.
Steady though.
Ready for orders.
Am I in range? I will be in range. Dun dun. Dun 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 dun. You see that thing turn the corner, it's over. Can I alpha? Just barely, you know what, let's turn off the medium laser just so I make sure I don't overheat. If this hits, it's over.
On it.
Just die in your corner where you hit yourself.
One less target.
Yeah, see, and we didn't even mess up traffic. We can still drive by.
Mission successful.
And that's pretty much it. UAC-20 will solve all of your problems, especially if you can put 2 of them on a mech at some point. That's about all I got. Enjoy your day.